Okay, hi everybody. It's Cameron Goebel here, and I wanted to share with you a project that I've been working on called asset mapping. So I'm involved with my local makerspace, Quelab, and we just moved into a new building about a year and a half ago. One of the things that I'm interested in is finding out how do we connect to the community that's right around us as opposed to the whole city that we're in. So we're Albuquerque's premier makerspace, which means that as far as Albuquerque is concerned, we are kind of the only game in town. And you can see this is Albuquerque here. This is like the entire city going around here. And Quelab is located pretty close to the downtown area. So you can see the Albuquerque Convention Center, there's Old Town, the Country Club, the Botanical Gardens, things like that, which is kind of nice. But I started thinking, what about the people who live near Quelab? So Quelab is in kind of an interesting space. It's sort of a weird mix of like residential, warehouse, industrial. This is kind of the area that got kind of cored out when Albuquerque really started to spread. And so what you have here are families who have either been here forever, or you have folks who have moved in because of regentrification and stuff like that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I really wanted to do is try to figure out a way to connect Quelab to the local community. So what I did was created an asset map. So here's what an asset map does. It tells you what is around you that you can use and that you can connect to and that you can synthesize with in terms of the local community. This is a Google map. It's sitting here in my drive, and you can see that I've got like chambers of commerce and nonprofits and social justice and advocacy topics over here. Basically what I did was I took about an hour and just sort of really scrolled in very close to see around Quelab what kind of things are there. The first thing that I started with was parks. These are the green areas here. So I was thinking, well, Quelab does a lot of interesting sort of high sky stuff. We've launched weather balloons. We do stuff with 3D printing and drones. And we have like rocketry and aerial enthusiasts and things like that. So I was thinking maybe knowing where the parks were would be a really interesting resource for us. So if I turn on the parks layer here, you can see that there are actually a couple of parks within walking distance, just right across the freeway here, straight north. There's another park a couple of blocks to the east, another one to the south. What surprised me is how many parks there really are. We're looking at maybe a 2 or 3 mile radius, easily within driving distance, but certainly some of these we could walk to as well. The thing about an asset map is that it's local to wherever you are, right? So I didn't go and get like every park in Albuquerque. I just wanted to get the ones that I thought were either a reasonable walk or maybe just a couple of minutes drive away. This started me thinking because what I noticed is that some of these parks are within, go away. I noticed that some of these parks are within areas that are very close to residential areas, which makes sense, right? You're going to get houses and things like that. So as I was thinking about the parks, I was thinking like, well, what would it be like for Quelab if instead of putting out sort of a general Facebook kind of announcement or an online media, social media announcement, something like that, what if instead we just printed up a bunch of flyers, like maybe 30 or 40 flyers? We could do that pretty easily. And when we wanted to launch a balloon or do a rocketry event or something like that, instead of holding it at Quelab, what if we went to one of these parks, like say this one right over here, and what we could do is go to the houses along this area and just put a little note on the house that's like, hi, we're Quelab, we're going to be launching a rocket in a couple of days, bring the kids, come on out, it'll be fun. That gets them within walking distance of us being cool, which is certainly something that engages the community. And it doesn't require them to really make an afternoon of it. We're basically right outside their houses. We just give them a little bit of notice, like, hey, we're doing a hot air balloon launch or something like that. I don't know, a solar balloon or something like that. Then I started thinking some more. So let's say that I've got all of these parks mapped, which I do. How do I connect to the communities that are involved with these parks? Well, there are community centers, right? So that's another layer on my map. You can see a couple of interesting centers here. They're the green stars. Ooh, diamonds, purple horseshoes. There's the Well Park Wells Park Community Center, we could go there and make an announcement to the community. They probably have like a community calendar or a post-it board or something like that. The people who go to this community center are going to be interested in the fact that we're doing stuff around the community, so that's an interesting way to connect to the community. Here's the Harvard Arts Center. We could go there and see what kind of things they've got going on. Across the freeway at the Manal School, there is the Manal Historical Library. We've got the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, Albuquerque Job Corps Center. I basically just Googled on Google Maps for things that said center in them and picked things that looked like they were public interest. This map has a lot of layers to it. So there's education and youth, which has lots of schools. That's the little circles that just popped up there. Also a number of museums that are around the downtown area, so we can connect with them as well. Social justice and advocacy are the gray diamonds, and I think that's an interesting direction for Quelab to consider taking. What if we were to reach out to local nonprofits and social advocacy places and say, hey, what kind of programs do you have going on? We might be able to do something with you. Youth advocacy, that sort of thing. Being downtown, there are a number of places for homeless folks. What do they need? We could build something. We could build little libraries. We could build little places to hold things. I don't know, but we should go and ask them and maybe find out, because as we get connected to the local community, not just to the the civic community of all of Albuquerque, but the local community right next to us, that's going to have a number of benefits. First, it makes people happy with us who are around us, and they're the people who are probably most concerned about us. Not concerned, but more like, who are these people? What are they doing? This is our neighborhood. How, not necessarily how dare you, but justify yourself. What are you bringing to the community? Right. So an asset map is a way to link up with local assets, very local assets, right? People who are doing interesting things, nonprofits, chambers of commerce, civic resources. Being near downtown, we have a lot of civic resources, like City Hall is right there. It would be pretty cool for one of the mayor's officers or cabinet or somebody, or the head of the director of a department, for example, to just kind of walk on over to Quelab. We're not asking them to go all the way across town. We are right next to them, or at least within a couple minutes drive. And we actually had that happen at an Ignite event. The director of economic development for the city of Albuquerque happened to drop by, and he was like, I had no idea this place was here. Let's start a conversation. I also mapped out some media resources. So these are newspaper publishers, local paper publishers, radio, television, community cable, that sort of thing. So that's what an asset map can do. The cool thing about it is that the more I see what's close to each other, the more I start thinking about what could we do that would harmonize, say, museums with parks. Here's the Old Town Museum here, and there's the Museum of Natural History, there's Explora, there's the Art Museum, and there's the park. How could we put those assets together in a way that shows off what Quelab can do and serves the local community at the same time? So I'll make this available to anybody who wants to edit it. Look down there for a link. And please comment on what you think. I'm interested in hearing back from you. I'm opening this up to our Quelab folks, and thanks for looking.